I feel like through Project Rise, I was capable to not only learn the skills, but learn how to manage the skills, because sometimes we learn a lot, but we don't know what to do with what we learn, and then it just goes in vain.
Hey, what's up? It's Steve. Stop consuming so you can escape. Create so you can be happy. Don't you want to be happy? Welcome to the DailyRise show. I'm your host, Steve Winter. So I'm here today with Myoga. Myoga is part of the Molisho dynasty. And she's got a bunch of sisters, and they're all incredibly creative and leaders of different kinds. She's married to a very handsome man, and they have a beautiful baby boy. He's a Rise baby. Born when she started Project Rise. You're from South Africa, and tell me about yourself.
Well, thank you so much. As I've been introduced, I'm Myoga. I am in South Africa, but I'm originally from the DRC. I've been here for, I think, more than 10 years now. Well, I often struggle with this question, tell me about myself, because I don't know what to tell you, because I think there's quite a lot to tell you about myself. But the basics, I turned 25 yesterday.
Congratulations.
And
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I have been part of Project Rise. After I did my bachelor's and honors in South Africa, we have a system of honors degree where you do 3 years of whatever you're studying, you get a bachelor's, and then you do 1 year where you major in one field and you get your honors. So I did that, where I did bachelor's of commercial law, and I did my honors in finance. And yeah, when I joined Project Rise, I did data management, which came with a lot of skills. So I feel very equipped after that to pretty much go in any field that I'm interested in, because I feel like today so many fields require technological skills and administrative skills as well, which I feel I'm well equipped with. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a fun person, I believe.
Okay. What do you plan on doing? Do you have any goals that you're trying to accomplish? I want to work for IBM. I want to work for Apple, or I want to start my own organization. What's your plans?
My plans right now I want to work for any financial company. I don't mind which one, for the sake of experience, because I do see myself being an entrepreneur at some point, for the purpose of mostly helping young people in the finance field, in the commercial law field, just to be able to settle down. Because I feel like I didn't have a lot of opportunities, mostly because I'm a foreign individual in South Africa. So if I can start working in that field for experience, and then establish something that can assist people like myself, I would be happy. Besides that, I'm also going into the direction of data management. It's quite an interesting field. After my course with Project Rise, it became even more interesting. So I'm trying to find employment, so to say, or work in that field as well. But outside of working, my dream is to own an orphanage. I don't know. I've always been attracted to owning an orphanage where I can assist the underprivileged. I love children, so going in that direction is also something I want to do. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's a big twist, right? You want to work for a financial company, doing data work, and then switching it with an orphanage. Oh, yeah. You're not going to sell babies, are you?
No.
Sounds like.
That's so terrible.
Yes, it is terrible, actually. It's a bad joke. It's a bad joke. Okay. So have you always had this desire to work with data and working for a financial organization even before Rise?
More the financial side, yes, but data management, I thought it could just be, something I would do when I worked maybe with UPF, for example, because there I used to work with data.
Yeah.
I was working in that direction. But after Rise, then my interest got, I think, picked, and I started, looking up on different which field in data management could I do? Do I like all of them? Do I want to focus on one? So it's mostly during Rise that my interest got even more picked into that data management, and then I started focusing more on that. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to shift a little bit and talk a little bit more about your where you come from. Like you're living in South Africa, and you're surrounded with young people, and you're very more knowledgeable than we are living outside of South Africa or even DR Congo. What would you say, in your opinion, is the number one problem young people are struggling with in school, outside of school, at this particular age of in their 20s or so? What are they struggling with?
Relevant skills, so to say. Many, for instance, those in school, many of them study what interests them when they are applying, for instance. So there could be a bunch of degrees that a university could be offering or a college could be offering, and they would be like, oh, this is interesting, I like this, I see myself doing this, but in reality it's not relevant anymore. Maybe that field has been merged with another field, or it requires so much, like a higher level of education for you to be able to work in that certain field. For instance, I can't think of a good example, but there will be a certain job that someone would want to do, but a bachelor's degree is not enough. They may have to go until a master's degree. Yes, psychology. And now I think psychology, because there's a friend doing psychology, and after her after a bachelor's, she couldn't get a job. So they told her she had to do a master's degree while doing community service for free before she can fully start working. So it's lack of relevant skills that is killing quite a lot of people. And even those that are not studying are not able to really do anything because everything is online, and they may not have the knowledge for online work. Or that's what's really affecting our youth here in South Africa.
How are they supporting themselves financially when they're in school and they have to, for example, be told to go again and do more studying? How are they supporting themselves?
For South African, it's a bit easier, although not really. It's a bit easier because they have something. It's like a loan from the government. It's called NSFAS, where they receive that loan that cover their school fees, books, accommodation, food. So many of them rely on that to be able to support themselves. Some do go out and actually get part-time employment that they can support themselves while they're studying. But many of the youth who are studying rely on that, either that or family who support them. So that's how it works. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And is it something that you have to pay back the government?
Yes. When you start working, they cut. You have to pay back.
Oh, man. When you start working, they cut it. Yeah, I'm used to that in America. You apply for a loan and you have to pay it back. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Germany and Austria, apparently, it's something that is for free. They don't give you money. I think you just study, and it's for free studying. Yeah. Yeah. But I've already passed the age, so I'm no longer able to study. And I wouldn't understand the words that they say anyways. So. Okay. Let's see. You are part of a group of people who work voluntarily for an organization that's doing really great work. Youth and Students for Peace in Africa, UPF, Universal Peace Federation. How do you manage how do you feel you're managing that with balancing your life, and you have a newborn, you're newly blessed, you have a newborn, or you're newly married, I should say, and how do you manage that with finances and your time? Is it a struggle? Do you find it? Yeah, how do you manage that, and what could you improve about it?
Before, I should say, because I started doing that even before I was married and before I gave birth. So before it was a bit easier because it was just me. So I could manage that easily because it's either you study at like certain time and you work certain time, but most of the time it was during the holidays. That for like UPF, for instance, that was during the holidays that we would do that. But now I think I joined the YSP team officially in 2021. And even then, it wasn't that hard because I wasn't really doing much. So my time was dedicated to that. But now it's quite it's quite tricky because you have to split your attention between so many things and you have to think like grown-ups. And I still believe I'm not a grown-up yet. So it's a difficult thing, but it's manageable. So one thing that I struggle with could be time management, because I could say I would like to dedicate my time for this many hours, but the baby does not agree with those hours, and you have to delay certain things, or you have to push back certain things, or even just work throughout the night to be able to accomplish certain things. And in terms of finance, sometimes it's difficult because you would like to do, but you may lack the finances to purchase things that could support you. For instance, data, for instance, fixing broken technical equipment, things like that. So that's a bit of a struggle for now that I can say I am facing that with time management. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing about that. I know that a lot of people are struggling, and when you have to shift from working, by yourself, and then all of a sudden having a family, and you all of a sudden need to almost double the amount of income you're making to support, the whole family, and the hope of contributing and making a big impact is like painful, because you really want to do it, but you have to also take care of the priorities, and the situation is not supportive of giving you that opportunity, that flexibility to get that income and be able to balance everything. So a lot of people are leaving. I notice a lot of people are leaving their responsibilities that they've formally committed to doing because they can't make it work. In fact, a lot of youth are going to Korea and studying, right? And they're not coming back.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I asked, how do you make it work? And I'm curious if Project Rise has brought any hope to that situation.
Yes, it has, because I like to think I'm a superwoman sometimes, that I can be able to do every single thing. So in a way, I feel that through Project Rise, I felt motivated enough, because everything is now digital. So I felt like, you know what, since things are online, I can actually maybe start looking for employment that I could do online while at the same time assisting. You want to do everything. You want to help at the same time. You don't want to be like, no, now maybe because finances are hard, I don't want to contribute anymore. You don't want that to be the reason why you do not want to help. But the situation sometimes is hard. So you find yourself saying, okay, I would like to help, but at the same time, you're planning, I want to work, and trying to see how you're going to manage all of that. So I think I'm in that situation right now.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Do you think that Project Rise gave you the tools that you can actually implement right away and start asking for income for yourself, or giving value to be self-employed, basically, is what I'm trying to say? Do you think that it gave you the resources that you need to be self-employed, to improve your situation?
Yes, absolutely. I do believe that. I feel like through Project Rise, I was capable to not only learn the skills but learn how to manage the skills, because sometimes we learn a lot, but we don't know what to do with what we learn, and then it just goes in vain. So through Project Rise, I truly learned a lot in not only with everything else, but let's say I'm focusing on data management. I learned a lot through that, and I do believe that even though I'm not at the top level yet, but with what I know, I can be self-employed and I can be able to do my best to produce quality work for people who either employ me or for like my clients, for instance. And I believe that the more you do it through experiences, then you can also continue learning on your own and then becoming better and better. Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that. In your opinion, what do you think we could change? If you can if you can magically change the system that we are currently in with volunteering and balancing work life and family, how could you change it and make it better?
I would like to say make it easier, but nothing easy lasts. So, how could I make it better? I just think a better management system, would make everything better. I mean, if everything is managed in order, everything is done accordingly, then things would be easier. It's because sometimes there's lack of proper management here and there, something may be lacking, and then it throws us off. So yeah, in my opinion, I think better management will really assist, will go a long way.
I see. Thank you for your answers. Is there anything you'd like to ask or say, or that came to your mind?
I don't really know. I don't really have anything. I think I've said my thank yous to Project Rise quite a lot. I don't think they want to hear any more thank you. Because if I may, like speaking about that experience, going through the 10 weeks was really phenomenal for me. It was the best 10 weeks, I can say, even though it was hard. At times you felt like, oh my gosh, why are they asking me to do so many things? I've just learned this, or I don't know. But it was, when you look back, you're like, if I didn't, I wouldn't have known this, or I wouldn't have pushed myself, or I wouldn't have, it was really impactful. And then unfortunately we always learn the lessons after the thing has happened, not during, because during we feel like we're being pushed. But yeah, it was really the best time. And yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We are starting a partnership with YSP, and YSP is it's similar to Rise, with the fact that it has Rise in the goal, and as you know, YSP, Youth and Students for Peace in Africa. And what do you think about that? Do you think it's a good thing?
Absolutely. Why? Because through Project Rise, those working with YSP can receive skills. Just because it's an NGO doesn't necessarily mean that people doing they don't need skills. They do need skills so that we can be able to run the best organizations. So partnering with YSP is a great initiative for the youth, especially the youth who are involved. And it will also allow YSP to be put on the map, because I feel like sometimes when we approach other organizations with the lack of, I don't want to say proper management, but sometimes skills, good enough skills, we're not taken seriously. YSPs often look like, oh, it's just, under this. And oftentimes we are compared to UPF. And sometimes it's more disadvantage to us, to the YSP department. So partnering with Project Rise will truly give YSP the vava-voom that it needs to be put on the map. By empowering the youth and truly just, empowering the youth.
I see. Wow. Okay. how was your internship experience with Project Rise?
Uh, it was great, but unfortunately I don't know if I finished it properly
I
because of
see.
what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it started out really great because it was different. I've never
Yeah.
experienced something like that. It was online, but we could deliver. We were given responsibilities that we could fulfill. It wasn't something, I don't want to say scary, but it was a new experience and a very positive new experience. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Thank you. Do you think that in the internship you received enough guidance as like, here are the goals, the SMART goals to accomplish, here's the objective, here are the resources that you need? Were you given everything you felt you needed to accomplish what the task was?
For me, yes. I remember what we had to do, all the resources, all the guidance, it was there. It was uploaded on the drive, and we just had to make sure we read. And what I like, we had the option to ask when we didn't understand. We could just like message and be like, what does this mean? And what do you expect from us? Something
Yeah.
like that. So it was all there. I speak for myself. I don't know about others, but I speak for myself. That's how I felt. Yeah.
I see. Thank you. So what if I was to ask you to start your own organization or your own business or maybe your own orphanage?
Mhm.
Yeah. And you were to start it, what reservations would you have? Like, what scares you the most about starting your own business, your own organization? Yeah.
Mhm. I think the beginning, starting, the very
Starting.
beginning, because I feel with running it, you could maybe run it through a week through like using trial and error to see which one works. But the actual starting, because into starting, there's so much planning that goes into starting something. And sometimes you're scared, what if this is not like this? What if this is not like this? And you end up discouraging yourself, and it goes south from there on. But yeah, starting is always the most difficult part. Starting something, even if it's very easy, but if it looks complicated, it throws me off. So the beginning part,
I
the
see.
starting part, yeah.
Okay. And my last question is, what message would you like to leave with everybody here, all the young people watching and the old people?
My message is something that I always carry. I always like, I don't know, motivate myself with. Never give up. Why? It's very cliche, but it's something that if you truly apply it, you'll see results at the end. There are many times where we have great ideas, we have great initiatives, but something blocks us, maybe lack of finance, and we take the idea and we throw in the bin. Whereas that very idea could have been the key to success or the key to our freedom somehow. So whatever idea you have, just see it until through the end. Whatever you want to do, see it until the end. Once you reach the end, and then you can evaluate yourself and fix your mistakes and so on. But just make sure you see it until the end. Don't give up. It's very cliche, but it's very powerful as well.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful message. Thank you,
You.
Myoga. Please greet your family for me. Thank you for being here on the Daily Rise.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. I look forward to inviting you again to the show more often to share your successes and the challenges in your life.
No problem. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.